So I'm with John here, who writes routinely every month $15,000 in final expense business. He's a relatively newer agent, and the reason I'm bringing him on today is really to go through what it's like as a day in the life of a final expense face-to-face agent. If you're interested in selling final expense, if you want to know more about the business from the perspective of an agent who's getting out there and making things happen, then this video is for you. Greetings and salutations. My name is David Duford. I own Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell final expense face-to-face and over the phone, as well as Medicare, health insurance, and annuities. Go to davidduford.com/FAQ to learn more. So I'm sitting across the virtual table with Mr. John. John, how you doing today?
I'm good, bro. How about you? I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here. Again, I appreciate your time. He's actually literally in the field, stopping between appointments to take a few minutes to go through this kind of day in the life type of video with us on final expense face-to-face sales. So we're going to jump right in. If you could kind of describe to the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got into the final expense business.
A little bit about me. I've been in the business for this is my 6th month. I got into this business because of David. I've been watching his content since 2018. At that time, I recently graduated from college and was kind of working jobs to job. Finally landed a job in corporate America. I was working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Climbed the ladder a bit. Saw it really wasn't for me. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. I didn't have the time or income freedom that I was looking for. And the whole time I saw David in my ear listening to his content on Apple Podcast back in the day. I was really sold on this business to have the benefits of the high commissions with final expense, and then the renewals and residuals that can come with doing Medicare and Medicare Advantage. I took that leap of faith, left my company about 6 months ago. I've followed what David's told me, did the routine, did the steps, nothing unique, nothing special. And, as he says, if you do the activity, it comes. So that's a little bit about me and how I got into this business.
John, thank you. And so again, writing about 15,000 pretty much consistently every month since starting, kind of really dialed in. And I told John before we got started to be brutally honest. Like, the people watching this video are those, you probably are out there aspiring to get into insurance sales. You're thinking about final expense. And we over here at the Ford Insurance Group appreciate brutal honesty in a way that, to be transparent, so you know exactly what to expect. So you've done this for 6 months. Please tell the audience, remember, they're brand new, they need to hear the truth. What do you like about final expense, and what do you not like about it?
What I like is that I see my wife a lot more. That was really important to me. I was working 50 to 60 hours a week at my last job, and I did not see my wife. We had just gotten married the month before in June. And the thing is, it tore her up, it tore me up. But since I started doing, final expense, I'm home more, setting appointments, and then getting out to the field like around 10 o'clock or so. So we spent the entire morning together. I really like that time, I love that time, and it's brought us closer together, so I like that aspect of it. I like the aspect of running my own show. There's pros and cons to that as well, right? The benefit of running your own show is pretty great. I can work all the time, which is awesome. I can work Monday through Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday too. I was doing that anyways with my last job, but this something for me and my family. So I like that as well. I also like being able to deliver really great service to my clients, do my best to go in above and beyond for them, because it's all you, it's all your brand, and what you bring to them. So I like having that opportunity to put my personal stamp on it. What I don't like about this business, all right, here we go.
Honest now, or we're depending on you.
I was just chatting with David right now. I have about $2,000 worth of chargebacks right now. That happens in this business. What happened was, relatives of clients canceled policies. That just happens when you don't really communicate thoroughly with all the decision makers. Should have made a better effort to reach out to them and try to keep this on the books. That happens. And the thing in this business is the right activity is the solution for everything, right? So even when you have big weeks, right? Because there's going to be weeks where you write 6,000, 8,000 or more, what have you. There's going to be weeks where you write, 2,000 or less or nothing. You just got to keep your foot on the gas all the time, because the thing is, those chargebacks, or you can get a cold, catch a cold, you're out for a week, and You always just need to keep your foot on the gas and make it happen, figure out a way to make it happen. And the only way to do that is to just consistently be doing the activity like David says.
I appreciate you being candid about the chargebacks, because in most videos out there that are recruiting you guys, they don't even talk about the C word. They don't want you to know any bad stuff about the business. They just want to talk about how awesome it is. Just the money will rain from the sky if you just pick up the phone and talk to somebody. It's not that way. 90% plus of the agents in this business fail in the first year, partially because the reality is obscured. They get into the business and find out about all this stuff before it's too late. And as far as chargebacks go, just a general piece of advice for everybody, it's going to happen. Like, John's going to get chargebacks. I'm going to get chargebacks. The best agents in the world are going to get chargebacks. The difference between those who are successful in business is they accept that there's bad with good, right? People change their minds. We're not going to change them. That's just how they are. But the solution is still the same. See the people. Do more activity, write more business. And incidentally enough, as you scale up, as John is beginning to, guess what you get more of along with more sales? More chargebacks, right? So it's all part of the business. It's all not in eliminating that. That's fantasy thinking. It's about managing it, making sure that you do what you can to reduce those chargebacks, deal with it. So let's continue on here. You sell face-to-face. You're selling in person. You're seeing the people. You're in Southern California, right? There's got to be a lot of traffic there, I would think. Why are you doing that instead of what so many other people are doing now, which is the telesales side of the business?
I like sitting across from people. I also don't feel I'm that strong over the phone. I like to use my body language to be able to help communicate with families that, like, I'm there for you, like I really care and like I want to help you out. I haven't been able to communicate that through the phone. And it's a skill set that I haven't really worked on. I think I could get it face to face. Is just intuitively, like, I knew that's where I was going to go, face to face. Even though you can run a lot more appointments over the phone, I like being face to face with folks. It's easier for me. Yeah.
And one thing, I've hired agents since 2013. We got into telesales probably beginning of 2020 when COVID started shutting down typical, basically everything. Telesales was kind of thrusted upon us. The one thing I've learned in the many years, and even before that, when I had a few telesales agents, it's harder to sell over the phone than face-to-face. You lack the thing that creates trust, and it's the physical in-person connection. So you have to make up for it with tonality, pacing, the words that you say, and that is a much harder skill to teach than just showing up, looking people square in the eye, and people just naturally in this demographic, in this age range too, tend to trust you more in that. Not to say that telesales can't be successful. I have very good telesales agents. Keep that in mind, guys, before you get into the business, whether it's with us, another organization. Really ask yourself, do you have the stuff to be successful over the phone? If you don't, go face to face. Success rate is higher versus telesales. So let's talk about how you get in front of prospects, because in the insurance business, if you're new to my channel or new to insurance, it's an activity sport. It's all about what we call, in short, seeing the people. You can have the best products, you can have the best sales pitch, but if you're not getting in front of enough people every week, it doesn't matter. You're not going to succeed. So it's all about getting in front of prospects, running presentations, whether it's in person or over the phone, and scaling that to the highest extent possible. So in person, what we do in Final Expense is there's two ways to get in front of prospects. You're going to go see them face to face, of course, but you can either call, set an appointment, then to see them later, or you can door knock. You can literally show up with the card or the lead information in hand, say a few words, lower their defenses, and get in the door. And yes, it still works in 2022 and beyond. So why don't you tell us, John, how do you get in front of prospects to present to them in person?
Right. So I set appointments and I also door knock. So I think the only thing I really haven't exactly duplicated from your agency, Dave, is the set appointments one day, run them the next. Right. Set appointments one day, run them the next. I just can't sit home for 10 hours. Like, that's not me. Like, I probably should have, but I've found, it works. For me, this has worked. Like, I'll set appointments, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, get in the field, then see appointments that I already have scheduled, then door knock, and then I'll get home 6:30, eat real quick, and then I'll hop on the phone and start setting appointments till 9 o'clock. That was a little pro tip I got from Joe B. You can call till 9 o'clock at night. You're dialing. So then I'll set appointments for the next day, the previous day's morning, or the previous day's evening. That's one way to do it. That can run you thin though. So I do like the idea of setting appointments one day, just one day of dialing, and then having a big field day. I think there's both great there.
So different ways to skin the cat, right? So you're kind of calling every day, a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, and then door knocking between those presentations, I figure.
Yeah, exactly. and if I get like 150 dials out or 200 dials out a day, you can set 4 appointments, 3 appointments, what have you. But then also door knock too. I love door knocking. Door knocking is great. It does work. It works really well. And
Door knocking cold or door knocking your leads?
Door knocking my leads, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
make
door
sure.
knock anyone.
New people that may think we're cold calling. That's not the case. When we're saying door knock, we're taking cards and forms on Facebook they filled out and going to see them because, in a sense, they solicited us, right? So we're not cold calling anybody. They filled out the form. We're just doing our job to follow up with them.
Yeah, door knocking is great. If you do what Dave says and you track your numbers, you can almost get it down to like a science. Every 5 to 7 door knocks, you'll get in a door. And then usually those people are like really excited to see you. They're like, "Oh my gosh, thanks for stopping by." And then there's some that even if they show them the card, they're like, "Nah, you're not getting in the door."
Right.
Whether they called someone from the carrier to come out and see them, like there's no way. But 1 in 5 to 7 is solid for this business.
Yeah,
That's really good.
And just so you guys know, John closes approximately half of his leads. So think about it, like every 10 knocks, he gets a sale, right? It's kind of cool to think about it. So if his average sale is, a $600 or $700 commission, let's say, just hypothetical, and you got to do 10 knocks to get it, like every door knock is $70, right? That's pretty cool. Even if they say no, you're like banking that money till the yes, is statistically coming within the next 10 knocks. That's kind of what's cool about this business is there is a science to it, right? Once you kind of know your numbers, which John's always been very good at tracking. One thing I wanted to ask you about, I thought that was cool. You literally start at 8 in the morning calling your leads?
Yeah, I'll call at 8. I'll do it till 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Do you get much pickup at 8 to 9?
Depends. There's like morning people that are like they're up, they're doing their stuff, and that's that's the one that I'm looking for, the morning person, right? And then there's people in the evening, they're up, they're watching TV, and you always hear the TV in the background when you call in the evening. So, you just got to find that, you got to catch them at the right time. I'll call, like my wife just joins me in the business. She's doing my appointment setting now. So we'll call morning, midday, and in the evening, and we'll track when we've called them, and then the ones that we don't catch, they're going to get caught on the door knock. Even if they tell us no on the phone, we're going to door knock them anyway.
What tips would you give new agents when calling to set appointments or door knocking to get in the door, as far as like how can they get into more presentations using those two strategies?
You know what? I would just say get the script down, say it a million times, make sure it sounds good, make sure it sounds genuine, like try to say it through the heart, really try to have a connection with folks. So that's the first step, I would say. And then afterwards, like you just got to be aggressive. Like you just got to keep calling. You just got to keep dialing. It's like you have a sieve and you're just sifting through sand, rocks, wherever you want to call it, to find like, the right folks to, sit down. For the door knocking, you just got to keep door knocking, like they tell you no, you rebuttal them, they tell you no again, rebuttal them again. And then to the point where it's like, they're visibly upset or, and then you go to the next door. And as David said, it's like $70 each door knock, you're just putting it in the bank. But you just got to keep doing it. That's the only thing. You just got to keep doing it. Don't stop. Find the right people, because like Dave said, they sent these cards, they solicited you. You're not inconveniencing anyone when you call them or when you door knock them, because they signed it. They put their address on there. They put their age on there. So we're there to help out, and you have to remember that too. And if you let those bad folks, shut you down, you're gonna hurt the people that are looking for you and waiting for you to show up.
Yeah. Pro tips here. First of all, get into the mindset as a new agent. They solicited you. I said it at the beginning of the call. John just said it now. You're not cold calling anybody. You're not inconveniencing anybody. Yeah. Our prospects know what happens when they fill a card out and send it back, or when they fill a form out online and send it back. You know why? Because they've done it a bunch of times before seeing you. Yeah. They know somebody's coming after them. So they understand the consequences of, you do too, right? When you click on an ad, somebody's going to call you to death or show up. It happens. So the fact that they filled it out anyway means something. And it means, at a minimum, it's your job to deliver the information. So that's another thing. Think of yourself as a information deliverer. You're not going to pressure these people, right? John's not going in and headlocking anybody into a close, forcing no. The stuff sells itself when presented correctly. Like it's not rocket surgery. It's like, are you going to die? Do you need protection? Is this something you care about or not? That's essentially what it all boils down to. So don't spook yourself out here, thinking you're doing something like that's morally outrageous, showing up at somebody's house. These people need your help, right? I mean, think about the people, how many homes have you been in and the telemarketer's blown up the phone? and they're
a lot.
yeah. So that's why door knocking works even better now.
Yep.
Because few people don't want to inconvenience them to show up at their house. I'm too good to show up at somebody's house to help them out. So that's where the door knocking becomes powerful. Glad to hear about that. It's working well.
Oh yeah, door knocking's great. Love door knocking.
So kind of wrapping this up, big picture. Where are you going this next year as we end this year, starting 2023 at the filming of this? What's your objective from production? You mentioned Medicare earlier. Where do you see yourself this upcoming year?
Yeah, I got to double that. Like Dave said, I've been averaging about 15, so I want to double that front end income, that AP, look into ways to reduce some of my expenses, look into, new marketing that Dave talks about. I just brought my wife on to set appointments. So we're scaling up, just doing more of the same thing. It's an easy business. You just got to do it and do a lot of it. Yeah. And then the results are going to come. Probably February, March, I'll start getting ready to get my AHIP, or how you call it, for Medicare and Medicare Advantage next year. And, just keep running final expense, because final expenses is where the money's at. There's a lot of money there. That's what I see, just doubling my AP and adding Medicare so I can start getting those renewals coming in on a regular basis. Yeah, that's where I see things going. Working with Dave, you can make it happen.
Yeah, thank you. And guys, with us at the Ford Insurance Group, one thing that set us apart is you're not going to hear me like blather on about recruiting a team and anybody with a pulse. Not that that's something that doesn't work. It's just so played out now. I mean, every other organization's an MLM these days. What we focus on are the agents who understand that learning how to sell is important, and they're not necessarily wanting to build a team and deal with the intricacies of team building, because it's not for everybody. And that's why we integrate Medicare typically in the second year of an agent's business model, because the beauty of Medicare is that it provides passive income for life. It turns the income earning opportunity from you got to actively go sell to, if you need to take a month off because, maybe your mom's dying and you want to take care of her, be somewhere else other than work, your business isn't going to fall apart like it would selling any kind of first-year driven product. So Medicare's big for us. We don't push our agents to do it, but we kind of paint this big picture of, we want to build a business that just doesn't make us money. There's a lot of unhappy rich people out there. We want a business that provides for our family, but gives us back what resource we're running out of constantly, which is time on this earth, to do the things that we love, to have the freedom and autonomy that we desire, spend time with our spouses, our kids, right? And you got to lay the groundwork because it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm glad to hear that. And I'm also glad I got you on video committing to that goal. Because as you know, sharing your goals publicly is one of the things that are really important to kind of help you dial in and kind of, double your production. You are now
come at me, Dave.
Promising it. So
yeah.
All right. John, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And congratulations on your success, and especially your continued success. I look forward to continue working with you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, me too, Dave. Been great. Appreciate your help.
Thank you. Bye.